All right, welcome back to episode 3 of the yard sale.
Episode 3.
Yeah, this is another big one. I mean, every single one has been massive.
Every single one is massive. Unfortunately, nothing else matters anymore.
No.
Everything is terrible.
Yeah,
Life sucks.
we're selling off everything at this yard sale.
Everything sucks.
Yep.
We're selling all of. No, we're not selling our Mariners gear. We're just sad.
We're a little sad right now.
We're going to have to. How many episodes of this show do you think we're going to have until we have a World Series appearance?
Oh, boy.
What I'm hoping for is, let's see. So, episode 2. 52 episodes after that if we do one episode a week. So 54. By episode 54,
The Mariners.
hopefully we will be talking about a Mariners World Series appearance.
Yeah,
But not today.
not today.
Not today.
Because, why?
Well, if you've ever been stabbed, it's pretty similar to that feeling.
Okay, I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that.
Yeah, I've never been stabbed, but here's
You
the
know what
thing.
it feels like, though.
I know what it feels like to be in utter pain and shock. We've experienced the interception at the goal line,
That hurt.
Super Bowl Seahawks against the Patriots in 2015. I think that's still number one, but this was a pretty close second. Watching George Springer absolutely pimp a ball to left field and just sink the Mariners. You can say all you want about the decision making of it. Hindsight's 2020, but just regardless, just heartbreaking and seeing the reaction from the players just says it all. Like, just sucks so bad. But the art sale continues,
Yep, we're still here.
and we still have hope.
Yes,
The Mariners are still a good baseball team.
they are.
We will be back.
Oh, their future's so bright.
But today, we mourn the loss of what could have been.
Yeah, we were right there.
Speaking of which, I think going into this, we thought that the World Series was just going to be a blowout. Dodgers just destroying the Jays. At least I thought
Right.
so.
Well, when the Dodgers went and blew up the Brewers and swept them, it was like, well, yeah, whoever wins the AL is just going to go and get beat by the Dodgers.
Yeah. It felt like you're winning the chance to get destroyed by LA.
Yeah, you're winning a World Series appearance, and that's about it.
That's
but,
about it. As mad as I am about the Blue Jays beating us,
oh, don't say you're rooting for them.
I'm not.
Okay,
I'm really
okay.
not. Like, honestly, I could care less who wins this World Series just because I'm salty about it. But Addison Barger's Grand Slam
Yeah,
was incredibly hype. So cool. So energetic. Like, it was hard to kind of hate on that because it was like, okay, you're one of the reasons we, got,
Beat.
screwed out of this. But it was so cool to see. What I'm trying to use to really help myself get over this, too, is just remembering that there's probably some 12-year-old in Toronto who has never seen his team have this level of success before, and he's probably having the time of his life right now. So, we had Russell Wilson and the Seahawks in the Super Bowl in 2014. Some kid in Toronto is getting that right now with the Blue Jays. And so, I'm like, okay,
That's nice of
you
you.
can have it this year. And then the, 40-year-olds that have never seen the Mariners win the World Series will eventually get this, hopefully. So,
yeah, because the Blue Jays haven't been in a World Series since 1993. Well, no, that's a lie. They got in there in 2015, but they lost to the Royals. They haven't won one since 1993. So it's been a little bit for them since they've won, but they've had their appearance. So it was like we just really wanted the Mariners to get there.
yeah.
But this is an instance of I am not rooting for either team. I can't say that I can take your perspective of, oh, yeah, I guess there's a 12-year-old Blue Jays fan that is happy right now. Like, I don't care. I want my
Joel
Mariners
hates
in the World Series.
Kids. Joel hates kids. That's what
not
he's
what
saying
I'm
here.
saying. But so
You heard
it
it
is
here
the Blue
first.
Jays, Dodgers. We're not going to say who we're rooting for, but how do we think the series is going to end? At the time of the recording, Blue Jays just won yesterday. They're up 1-0 in the series. Carsten, how do you have this series ending?
Before yesterday, I would have thought it was going to be a sweep. Now I'm thinking it's going to be a 6-game series.
Okay.
I think it's going to be Dodgers in 6. That's my guess.
Okay.
I think Dodgers in 6 still makes the most sense. The Dodgers they were rested for so long going into the World Series. I think they were just a little sloppy as they kind of get more worked into it. I think the thing of having rest going into these games is kind of a fable. I honestly think the team that has just momentum carried into it usually seems to
Yeah.
have good success. The Dodgers were just kind of playing lazy. It just didn't work out for them. I don't think that the Blue Jays can keep up this momentum for the whole series.
Yeah. Agreed that the Dodgers are in a great spot to win it. I do think that the Blue Jays offense, just watching it very diligently the last couple of weeks, their 7 through 9 guys are just beasts. And you got like Ernie Clement in that 5 spot, I think is what he's been at. And Vladdy, I mean, he has like a 1.5 OPS in the playoffs. Like, their offense is peaking right now, and I think it's going to be hard for the Dodgers to stop, even with this like super team that they have. I bet it goes into 7 games. I think the Dodgers still win, but I think it's going to be a good series.
Something similar, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's crazy. Like when we were watching the series and they were playing against the Mariners, there wasn't a single batter on Toronto that it was like a breath of fresh air.
Right, that you felt good about.
Yeah, like even the Tigers, it was like they had good numbers, but it was like when
Well,
Javi Baez came to bat,
It was a breath
it was like, oh, thank
of
goodness.
fresh air. Yeah.
Yeah, just throw a slider.
No,
and you're good.
I think I think it was literally just Riley Green, Kerry Carpenter. Once you were past those guys, it's like, well, cool. We have 2 innings of no stress.
It was like you just wait until the top of the lineup comes
Right.
again, and then you
Whereas
just hope for the best.
The Blue Jays, it was scary when you have Vladdy up there and George Springer, but then it just kept going,
Just
and it
kept
was
going.
the guys in the bottom half of the lineup that ultimately.
Clement was killing us. Jimenez was killing us.
Yeah.
Barger had his moments.
Mm-hmm.
Even Kiner Falefa was
hitting doubles
hitting
down the
doubles
line
down
every
the
day.
line. It was just ridiculous.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that was unfortunate, and I mean, honestly, that offense, it was impressive, and they won the series, and
They
that's
did
why
it.
it's a 7-game series, is to make sure the better team wins, and apparently the Blue Jays are better.
Prior
So-
to this series too, the Dodgers were 9-1 in the playoffs. They had only lost once, so now they're 9-2.
Right.
Just crazy dominance from the Dodgers. I think seeing the Blue Jays made it look like this is going to be a lot more interesting of a series than we initially thought.
Yeah, I hope so.
I
I hope
hope
it's
so.
a good one.
Some other quick sports news headlines. NBA betting scandal just swept
Yeah.
through, rocked the NBA. Blazers head coach and NBA legend Chauncey Billups, as well as the Miami Heat's Terry Rozier, arrested in connection to FBI-led gambling investigation. Separate but similar charges on both of these guys. Rozier arrested in connection to fixing his own games, providing insider information. There were 7 games that were noted as having unusual betting related to his unders. Chauncey Billups connected to rigged poker games tied to the mafia.
Wow.
He allegedly lured people into play against him. It was like the lure of you play poker against NBA legend Chauncey Billups, and then they used X-ray technology. I don't know how that works
That's wild.
to read marked cards. I don't know how you would do that. I feel like that's something out of like a comic book almost, where it's like you use X-ray to see what's under a card. Like, I mean, that's literally in Austin Powers. Like, in the glasses the guy's
Dude,
got.
we live in the future.
We live in the future. So, also potentially tied into trading key information about players when he was coaching. There's a few games that people mentioned, but a total of 30 people involved in this. This was pretty big. I mean, the FBI director had a press conference about it. And the second major investigation in recent history since Jonte Porter was also arrested for providing insider information. It was pretty funny to see some of the highlights people brought up, too, about Terry Rozier and just him throwing the ball away in some games, removing himself from some games, or is like,
Really?
it's pretty sketchy. It's something that you don't really see until something like this gets brought up, but it's really sad and it's really scary.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see all of the details come out about this. I do think it is probably more widespread than people realize. I think like they don't go and arrest people until they're very certain that this is happening and they have the evidence to back it up and all that. And so, I mean, boom, it happened. I know that there's already rumors of an even bigger scandal kind of showing up here soon. And it's just like, and every time it's like, it's just wild to wake up to like that headline of, oh, Terry Rozier just got arrested.
Yeah, I mean that's not a name to, brush over.
No, and
Like he's
Chauncey
good.
Billups, like
And Chauncey Billups is a
right,
head coach.
right. It's not. I mean, the Jonte Porter thing was like, who is this guy again?
Yeah,
A little bit.
it's like, oh, little brother for Michael Porter.
Yeah, it's like,
oh,
okay,
okay,
okay.
just kind of a bench player.
Yeah,
Like betting on his unders were easy. He's projected 2 points a game. Not to, I mean, it's still significant. I think one thing I think about in these is I'm always praying that it's not one of my favorite teams, involved in this.
right.
Like,
How bad would that
how
suck if
bad would
Julio
that suck?
just got suspended for
Right.
life? You know.
I had somebody do that to me one time. They approached me and they're like, "Did you see Julio Rodriguez got suspended 80 games for PEDs?" And I couldn't. I was like, "Are you serious?" And it was like a guy I knew who was a Mariners fan. He's like, "Yeah, but it was the Padres, Julio Rodriguez,
Oh,
or some other."
seriously.
Because there's 2 Julio Rodriguez. There's actually, I think there's like 3 or
Wait,
something. Because there's another
actually,
one
this
in the
was a
Mariners.
thing?
But yeah, so it was a different Julio Rodriguez that got suspended, and that scared the crap out of me. I mean, because when the Astros had their scandal and everything, like obviously the fans didn't ask for that, but your team is now known as, you have that big asterisk next to your name for the rest of your life as
Right.
as an Astros team. And
Right.
so
I mean, you still saw it with George Springer the last couple weeks coming back into
he
Seattle.
still gets
getting
booed.
booed every time.
He still gets cheered on when he gets hurt and things like that, which
Right.
is just really sad. But it's just something that they carry with them for the rest of their lives, and it's something
Right.
the fans have to deal with. I have less
Right.
sympathy for the players that participated because it's like you knew what you were doing. Now
Right.
you're facing the repercussions of what you've done. The fans didn't need that though. Like I would hate that as a Mariners fan,
Oh,
especially
yeah.
if we had
to
success.
wear your Mariners jersey around and just,
To know that it was a fraud.
Dang,
if something like that
that
happened.
is messed up. Because I look at people that wear Astros jerseys and I immediately
You have
think
that
less
bias,
of them
yeah.
probably.
Oh, absolutely.
Dang, that is
and
wild.
we have more bias too as Mariners fans. Division rivals, they've always
Right.
killed us.
Also, side note, that Julio Rodriguez that got suspended,
hmm
Astros minor leaguer.
Astros.
Dude, it's just part of the
Not Padres.
system. It's in the genetics.
Sorry, Padres fans. It's in the genetics.
Yeah.
Sorry, Astros fans too. We hate your team. We're sure you're great people.
Well, it just keeps happening.
It
But
just keeps happening.
anyways,
Sorry.
back to the NBA. VJ Edgecombe from Baylor. Remember him? He beat up on Gonzaga last year, I think it was.
hmm
He scored 34 points in his NBA debut for the Sixers. Pretty wild, and that was the most points in a debut since 1959 with Wilt Chamberlain, who
Jeez.
scored 43, which that's a while. And that side note that he had 28 rebounds in that game, which
Good Lord.
imagine going out first game in the NBA, you put up 43. Wild stuff. And then, oh yeah, you got 28 boards on top of it.
Imagine being the other rookie that has to face Wilt Chamberlain.
Yeah.
Or just even a regular guy. Like they approach you and they're like, "Hey, you're gonna guard the Warriors' new rookie," and they're like, "Oh, sick. Okay, I get
Okay.
a rookie tonight.
Yeah.
That's awesome." And they go out there and
Just get
it's
lit up.
Wilt Chamberlain.
Yeah.
Last note on sports news for the week: New York Rangers suffered a stretch of 3 straight home game shutout losses, which is 180 minutes scoreless at home. Second longest stretch in league history. This is a little bit old news now. I'm pretty sure the streak has ended, but not a great look for the New York Rangers. And ties in a little bit to what we're going to talk about today as far as cursed sports cities.
Yeah. Yeah. And actually, we're going to kick off the episode by doing a little Family Feud episode of just the most, cursed American, keeping it in America, sports cities. So let me get that.
Inspired by the Seattle Mariners.
Inspired by the
We do
Mariners.
truly think Seattle may be one of the more cursed sports cities
Yeah.
ever. It's hard to look at it recently because the Mariners have been doing good. Like, they've been good. And the Seahawks have been good since the Super Bowl. They haven't missed the playoffs much. The Sounders, incredibly good. They've had a great recent history. And the Seattle Storm, pretty sure, have
Yeah.
won a WNBA title. So
Right.
we've had some recent success.
And it'll be interesting playing this one because there's one thing to be like just bad and
Mhm.
have bad ownership and, bad money management. And then there's curses. So it'll be interesting to
Mhm.
see how this Family Feud plays because there are like specific sports curses.
Mhm.
And then there's just sports organizations that don't spend money. And then there's a combination of both of
Oh,
that.
yeah.
So
And the combination is titled the New York Jets.
is that your first guess? Or, well, see, I don't think you can do New York
I
though
don't think I
because
could
there's
do New York.
always a good team in New
New
York.
York is so funny though because it's so clear in every single sport that they have there that there's a big brother and a little brother.
Oh yeah.
Like there's the Knicks and
Mhm.
there's the Nets.
Right.
Big brother, little brother. There's the Giants, there's the Jets. Big
Yep.
brother, little brother. Yankees, Mets, probably the biggest one. What we've learned is if your name ends with "ets,"
Jets,
you're the
Mets.
worst team. Jets, Mets, Nets.
No way. I did never made that
They gotta
connection.
break
That's
this line.
wild.
They gotta break the line. I think the only one that is different is NHL. It's the New York Islanders and the New York Rangers.
Okay.
And I won't lie, I don't know enough about hockey to know.
I feel like the Islanders are worse.
The Islanders, I don't hear much about. I only hear much
Yeah.
about the Rangers.
But we just talked about the Rangers not scoring for 3 games straight. So,
Maybe the tides are turning.
yeah. Okay, with all that being said, let's jump into this episode of Family Feud. Play along with us. Let's see if you get the first most cursed sports city before we do. But Karsten, I'll let you lead off this time.
My gut wants to say Seattle. I feel like I need to do something different.
Yeah.
First thing that comes to mind is the Buffalo Bills losing 4 straight Super Bowls. I'm going to go with Buffalo.
Wow. That's so lucky. I was not thinking that was going to be number 1, but
Number
it is in
one.
fact number 1.
Let's go. How
So
many points?
Buffalo, New York is 28 points. So Karsten's starting off hot. Nice job. Really good
Can
start.
I say I'm a pro at this?
Okay, I'm going to go. I think this is going to be more of a. I think it is going to take, the cursed aspect. I think bad teams are different than cursed teams. And I do think that Chicago has had some pretty bad luck with both the Cubs and the White Sox.
Fair.
So I'm going to go with Chicago.
Do you think the Bulls negate that at all?
Oh, that's a good point.
I shouldn't have helped you. Dang it.
But I already put it in.
Oh,
so
okay.
we got Chicago's number 5.
Number 5.
For 10 points.
Okay.
So, yeah, they had the 108-year drought and the double doink, and they've just had, a lot of
tough.
But the Cubs, I mean, they won the World Series a few years back, and they're doing good now.
I mean, they do have one of the most well-known sports curses in
Yes.
history too. So
Yes.
that makes a lot of sense.
Right, so that's
That
why
makes
I
a
thought they were
ton of
going to
sense.
be higher up. But number 5, Carson, back to you.
Okay. You saved one that I think was going to be my number 2 guess. I'm going to go with Minneapolis,
Okay.
Minnesota teams.
See, I just feel like
specifically.
that falls into just bad, or are there curses?
Well, so the Vikings had a similar situation to Buffalo, of having never won a Super Bowl, but having been to a couple of them. And there's also just a few, like the Minnesota Wild and the Timberwolves. There's just not a ton of success, and I would argue that some of these teams would be able to say we're cursed for having either never made it or just not have a ton of success. I don't know a ton about the Minnesota Wild. I haven't heard a ton about them recently. So hopefully I'm even saying the right team in general.
It is.
It is the Minnesota Wild?
Yeah, pretty
okay,
sure.
Sweet.
Yeah, that's fair. I know the Vikings had a stretch where they, I think, lost like 4 Super Bowls like in the same decade or something like that. I know the Bills, well, I guess Buffalo, your first guess, they had, I think it was 4 Super Bowl losses in a row. And that just screams curse at you.
Yep, so they lost 1970, 1974, 1975, and 1977
Dang.
to the Chiefs, Dolphins, Steelers, Raiders, respectively.
Different people or different teams every time.
They only ever scored over 10 points once in all those Super Bowls.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay. So did I tell you Minneapolis was number 3 on
You
the
did
list?
not.
Yeah, nice job. So 18 points for you there.
Off to a good start.
Yeah,
This is way better than the work one.
you're
so
kind of killing it.
way better.
All right. Another team that had a really long curse going was the Boston Red Sox. The curse of Bambino, trading away Babe Ruth. I'm going to go with Boston.
I like it.
Even though they've had success as of late, we're going to go with that. Even though there's another city. Oh, my gosh.
Boston's not on there.
It's
is
not
it?
on there at all.
The Celtics,
Yeah, I
the
know.
Patriots,
But,
the Red Sox have had a couple World Series in there.
yeah,
right?
yeah. But
I totally get it because Curse of the Bambino is, the biggest curse in sports probably, right?
It's got to
Arguably.
be up there. And so when I'm thinking, yeah,
It makes sense.
Okay.
It makes sense.
Dang, I'm leaving the board open for you though. We still got 4 answers on the board. What do you got?
I'm gonna go with Seattle now.
You
I
are
think it's
okay.
gonna be a lower number, but I do think that Seattle is arguably one of the more cursed cities for sports.
No way.
Is Seattle not on there?
It is. It's way up there.
Is it
too.
number 2?
It's number 2.
Seattle's number 2. I got the 1, 2, 3.
See, okay, I think Family Feud here is taking the approach of just badness, which I guess is kind of a curse. Where
Yeah.
I think I was taking the perspective of like specific curses.
Specific curses.
Yeah. Because like the reasoning here, it's like the Sonics went to Oklahoma City. That sucks for Seattle.
That sucks.
You know, Mariners just decades long misery. Mariners misery, and the Seahawks. I mean, they had a good run there for a bit, but then again, like we talked about earlier, the Super Bowl, the heartbreak that came with that.
The heartbreak, and then the first Super Bowl they were in too. The controversy over the
Oh yeah.
the refs.
Right.
I mean, that made it. That was all I heard about growing up. Like,
Yeah.
I think
the
I
frickin'
still had
Steelers,
family members
cheaters.
that just hate the Steelers, which it
Yeah.
wasn't their fault. I think it was just poor
How the game was.
poor refs, but
Yeah.
like it is what it is, you know. How many
Yeah.
points was Seattle?
22 points.
22.
Yeah, nice job.
Thank you.
So
thank
we
you.
still got the number 4, number 6, and number 7 options on the board. I'm gonna go with Cleveland on this next one.
That's a good one.
I think it's got to be number
It's
4.
got to be number 4.
Okay, it is number 4 for 14 points. I mean, the Cavaliers, they were in a bad spot until LeBron came back. They had a 52-year championship drought there. They had, what was it, the first ever not undefeated, just full on defeated NFL season? Or no, they ended up winning one game that year. Remember how like
I think you're right. They did have the second ever fully defeated season, but they were the first to go 0-17 because the Lions went 0-16. They were the first team to ever go fully defeated. Browns 0-17.
Okay, so actually, this is wild. I did not know
And
that.
I think it was the year after that they went 1-16, right? Or the year
Or
before?
1-15, I think, and they beat like the Steelers in their last game or something like wild
Yikes.
like that. Okay, so you're right. So the Browns became the first team to go 0-17, even though they were actually the 12th NFL team to go winless, playing 8 games or more. But that goes back a long ways.
I was going to say, I hadn't heard about that, but
So Cleveland Browns, well, I guess just Cleveland period, number 4,
Yeah.
cursed city.
a lot of bad luck with the Cavs, too.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That makes a ton of sense.
All right, we still got number 6 and number 7. Do you have any ideas on these?
No.
No?
No.
Yeah, I'm
I'm a little torn.
Okay.
There's like a few cities I'm thinking of, like Sacramento, that only have one sports team, but that one sports team has been pretty tough.
You want to go with it?
I
No.
think I gotta keep thinking on this.
Okay. I'll give you like 10 more
I
seconds.
really want to say New York.
New York?
I really want to say
I
New
mean-
York.
There's bad luck and there's good luck there.
You know, I'm gonna say New York.
Okay.
I'm gonna send it. I think that there's enough bad teams in New York that if you root for any of those teams, you would say that you're one of the more cursed teams.
Wow. Yep, number 6.
Number 6.
You really like this one.
I'm on a roll.
You are.
I'm on a roll.
So, yeah, that's 8 points just because, like we talked about earlier, the Ets. So, you got the Jets, the Mets. What was the other one?
The Nets.
The Nets. Yeah,
Brooklyn
just kind
Nets.
of. Yeah.
The New Jersey Nets.
Yep. I mean, the Mets, it continued this year. They didn't make the playoffs.
The Mets probably are one of the more cursed franchises, or just most like sad franchises when it comes to losing. Like the Mets and the Jets, I think, are the two that I think of the most when it comes to like, how does this happen to you every single year? The Mets have it a little bit better. They're usually in the running for the playoffs. This year, very unfortunate. But the Jets are just bad.
Yeah.
Always.
Yep.
Always bad.
Okay, so we got number 7 on the board still. We only have one strike. I honestly don't, not sure. I'm thinking, just bad history.
Bad history.
Mhm.
Bad history.
I'm going to go with, this is a weird one.
Okay.
You can laugh, but I'm going Charlotte.
Charlotte. No, honestly, I was thinking that.
Were you?
I was thinking
Okay.
about that. You got the Panthers. You got the Bobcats.
Right.
Like,
Oh, let's go.
is that it?
It. Yeah.
No way.
Wow. I'm very surprised
Good
with that.
job.
So, yeah, Charlotte is number 7. So, yeah, the Hornets, Bobcats, obviously not great. I mean, then we got the Panthers
Yep.
that haven't done much since Cam Newton. And,
Mm-mm. And that was really their only. I mean, they've made a couple Super Bowls, still haven't won.
yeah, they didn't win either
Nope.
of those. Yeah.
Neither.
So,
No. And they haven't had the worst history. They're not great right now, but,
no.
I think Panther fans still waiting on that first title, like a lot of these teams,
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, there you go. Those are the 7 most cursed cities. Congratulations, Carsten.
Thank you. Buffalo, Seattle, Minneapolis, Chicago, New York, Charlotte. Oh, and Cleveland. I
And
missed
Cleveland in there.
Cleveland number 4.
Yep.
So the Mariners, poor luck has inspired us to make an episode talking about one of the more interesting, and I think as we started to research lesser known parts about some of these sports. We've heard some of the famous curses. We talked about that. The curse of the Great Bambino, which was Babe Ruth getting traded from the Red Sox to the New York Yankees. We talked about the Cubs World Series drought. The baseball teams usually tend to have some of the more famous ones historically.
Yeah.
But we have come up with some of the more interesting or just more unique histories of some of the sports curses that are out there. And so today we're going to be bringing up one sports curse each that we found that we wanted to go dive into the history of. So, Joel, I'm going to start us off.
Okay.
Joel,
yeah,
have you ever
go
heard?
for it.
Have you ever heard of Aaron Ramsey?
Dave's kid.
Dave's kid, Dave
Yep.
Ramsey.
Yeah, his kid.
It is not Dave Ramsey's kid. No.
Okay,
It is also
no.
not Gordon Ramsay's kid.
Okay, none of them.
Aaron Ramsey.
Jalen Ramsey.
Not Jalen
Okay.
Ramsey's kid either. No.
Who is Aaron
A lot
Ramsey?
of Ramseys out there.
There
That's interesting.
are.
I mean, it's a pretty common last name, I guess. So,
Yeah.
one of the strangest curses in sports history has to be the curse of Aaron Ramsey. So, Ramsey is a Welsh. Blah.
Well, what?
Aaron Ramsey is a Welsh footballer, Welsh soccer player for you Americans out there. And according to the lore of his game, his history, whenever he scores a goal, a well-known celebrity, public figure, etc., dies within a few days. Sometimes the day of. It sounds ridiculous,
It does.
but I'm going to read off a list of names to you, okay?
okay.
Ted Kennedy, Osama bin Laden, Muammar Gaddafi, Steve Jobs, Whitney Houston, Robin Williams, Paul Walker, David Bowie, Alan Rickman, Nancy Reagan, Roger Moore, Stephen Hawking, Burt Reynolds, Mac Miller, Jimmy Buffett, George H.W. Bush, Luke Perry, Max von Sydow, June Brown, Olivia Newton-John, Steve Harwell, Elizabeth II, Bray Wyatt, and Charlie Kirk. Does not matter what club he's playing for. Arsenal, Juventus, Wales, the pattern just seems to follow him everywhere.
That's wild.
Most likely coincidence, but it's eerie enough that it becomes something that the fans check every time he scores. Crazy coincidences, but a very well-known curse across the pond, apparently, something that we're not super, aware of
No.
here, not having tracking soccer. But, every time he scores, people are kind of checking the news, making sure that everything's all right. So
That's wild. I'm looking at his stats now, and he hasn't scored this season through 8 matches, it looks like. So that's good for the world.
that's good for the world.
Not good for the club.
I mean, the curse is probably a little bit over-exaggerated. They ran the stats. It is only about 35% of the time that he scores a goal that this happens. That's still pretty
That's
significant,
a lot,
though.
dude.
I mean, I would want to look at Nick Castellanos' numbers and see what percentage of his home
Yeah.
runs are on the day of a tragedy. Because that's one of the big. And I wouldn't call that a curse. I would more just call it like a weird just happenstance thing that every
occurrence.
time something tragic happens in the
Yeah.
world, he hits a home run.
Right.
But Aaron Ramsey's is a little bit more dark. It's like when he
Yeah.
scores, it's like you're looking out, not just like being like, oh, look at this already happened today.
Right. Right. And it's one thing, like, Castellanos, can go and hit, 20 to 30 home runs in a season. And, like, it just happens to be sometimes when something bad has happened. Whereas, like, goals, those don't happen super frequently.
No. No.
I mean, like, the most goals that this guy ever scored in a season was 10 goals, it looks like. And so, did you say 35%?
35% of his goals.
And you just listed off half the celebrities I know. Like, um, that's a wild
That's
ratio.
crazy. I mean, he scored a goal and the Queen died. I mean, do you think he gets flack for this? Because he lives over there.
He probably
He probably does,
He
right?
probably.
I mean, he
he's-
has people probably approaching him all the time saying, "I can't believe you killed the
Yeah,
Queen of
yeah.
England."
which is wild, but society today, I wouldn't doubt it. I
Oh, yeah.
wouldn't doubt the amount of DMs he's gotten when Robin Williams died, just being like,
How dare you?
yeah.
Crazy.
But probably, honestly,
Crazy.
the Queen, I think that one probably was actually like legit. People were probably mad.
I mean, the craziest part about a lot of these too is some of these they're not just deaths of like celebrities, because sometimes a celebrity passes away, natural causes. Like Osama bin Laden, that is a very significant death.
Oh, yeah.
Steve Jobs, Whitney Houston, Robin Williams, Paul Walker, those are all very
Stephen Hawking.
significant. Stephen Hawking, all significant
Yeah.
deaths.
Wow. That is crazy. That is really
So a little bit
crazy.
more of a dark kind of curse history, but just something really, really interesting and also just incredibly coincidental.
That is a crazy one that I've never heard of, but you're right. It's probably way bigger of a thing across the pond. Anything else on Aaron Ramsey or any
That's-
financial advice?
I think Aaron Ramsey's financial advice would be bet on his unders for goals.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Perfect.
don't bet on him to score a goal.
Well, I've got a little story lined up for you.
Okay.
It's a much more well-known story than Aaron Ramsey, at least in America.
Okay.
This one just tied really well into the whole gambling situation,
Oh, okay.
but also a curse.
Okay.
So this is the curse of the Black Sox.
Okay.
You've heard about it?
I think I have. This is
Okay.
related to Shoeless Joe Jackson,
This
am I right?
is very
Okay.
related to Shoeless Joe Jackson. So this occurred in the 1919 World Series.
Okay.
Shoeless Joe Jackson was the biggest name, not necessarily the biggest contributor, but the biggest name because he was a star. He was
Okay.
a stud.
Okay.
Yeah, so this was 8 players
Mm-hmm.
from the Chicago White Sox that conspired with outside help to basically fix the 1919 World Series.
All right.
Yeah, so 1919 World Series, they had recently, I believe, won the World Series. Yes, this is right, in 1917. So like this was a good team. Obviously were good enough to make it to the World Series in 1919. And so I'm just going to kind of give you an overview of what actually happened, and then we can get
Okay.
into the curse. So in 1919, a group of gamblers led by, his name is Joseph Sport Sullivan, which that's kind of
Joseph Sport.
Joseph Sport. So I'm guessing he was just a big sports
A little
gambler.
on the nose, yeah, for a
Right.
baseball player.
Which-
Sport Sullivan.
It's so funny reading these like old articles because everyone has a nickname.
Yeah.
Why don't I have a nickname like Sport?
You
Well,
want a nickname?
I have Rolls.
You have Rolls Royce.
Yeah.
I'll give
We
you.
need
Do
you
you
a
want me to give
nickname.
you like an old baseball timey nickname though?
I mean, do you have one?
How about Joel?
Shoeless Joe Joel.
Shoeless Joel Thompson.
And basically, it was, throw the World Series and we'll give you guys big money. Which the big money ended up being like anywhere from like $5,000 to $10,000 per player. Which, yes, this is 1917, but still wild. So yeah, 8 guys. Biggest name, Shoeless Joe Jackson. Other names, Lefty Williams, Eddie Cicotti, Chick Gondil, and Swede Risberg. And so all of these guys decided, hey, we're going to throw the World Series and we're going to make some good money out of it, even though they're making decent money already. So World Series nowadays goes to 7 games, right? Or it's a best of 7.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what it was in 1919?
What was it? How
But-
many games?
Best of 9.
Best of 9.
Yeah, so this...
So you have to win 5 of 9 games.
Right.
Interesting.
And
Okay.
so I was doing the research, and I was expecting that this was just nice, nice and easy. Like maybe it went to 6 games,
Okay.
but the Black Sox, they're not gonna let this go to 9 games or 8 games, right?
Mm-hmm.
This series went to 8 games.
Wait, 8 games.
Went to 8 games.
Okay.
So it's like, and obviously
They
trying
drug it out a little bit.
to hide it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of blew my mind. And even just like looking at the overall stats and everything, like they were playing the Cincinnati Reds, and I was like, okay, I bet the White Sox just had like a ton of errors or something. The Reds made more errors than the White Sox. I'm like, oh, what
That's
the heck?
wild.
Yeah, I was thinking like these guys would just like be throwing balls away and
It'd be
that.
fun to see a game where both teams
Are trying
are
to lose.
conspiring to lose
Yeah.
the game, and so they both just keep making errors.
I've seen that in like basketball tournaments where there's like a consolation winner and teams are just trying to make it to the consolation bracket
Yeah,
so that then they can win and
Like
go
a-
and win the shirt
like a hoop fest.
at Hoop Fest. Yeah, and it's awful.
For those that don't know, Spokane, Washington, our hometown, hosts the largest 3-on-3 basketball tournament in the world, which is pretty sick. Just a
Yeah.
little corner of the United States here. But yeah, we do see it a lot. Some people just want to play in the lower brackets so it's easier to win. So they just try to lose so they can get a cool T-shirt out of it.
Kind of silly how that works, but essentially the White Sox, yes, were trying to lose. They had 8 guys in on it, and some of those guys played pretty good. Like Shoeless Joe Jackson had a 375 average in this series. Like, but here's the thing with baseball. You can like kind of play with it. Like you can get hits when it doesn't matter, that kind of things.
Right.
The really funny thing here, Lefty Williams. So he was a pitcher.
Lefty Williams.
Lefty Williams.
Okay.
He ended up going 0-3 in the World Series. So he started 3 separate games and lost all of them, and he was in on it.
Yeah.
So that's just kind of and that is the most losses a World Series pitcher has ever had.
I was
Because
gonna say because usually you don't throw
you might
3
see
games
him,
in a World Series.
right. You might see him throw twice in a series. So that's pretty funny. And then they had another starting pitcher, Eddie Cicotti, who
Eddie Cicotti.
he
That's
was
a pretty
the-
cool name.
yeah,
That sounds like somebody that would gamble too.
right. And he was the only one that was like paid before the World Series began. So he got his $10,000 the night before the series began.
So he could have just taken the money and ran, started playing good.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to.
Yeah, you would have
tick
probably
off
had some
those
people coming after you. Yeah.
Right. And this is another interesting fact before we get into the curse piece is that basically the signal to say, hey guys, we're doing this
Yeah.
is he's going to hit the first batter. And so
Interesting.
So with the second pitch of the first game of the World Series, he hit Maury Rath in the back with a fastball, which was the signal to say, hey guys, we're doing this for real.
Gosh, these guys just have such cooler names.
They do. They
than
really
anybody.
do. I mean, we got Sleepy Bill Burns,
Sleepy?
Abe Adel. Like, there's just all of these guys.
We need to give better names.
Right.
Maybe we'll
Like,
just take a whole
the-
episode and give people new names.
The winning pitcher in Game 2, his name was Harry Slim Sally.
Slim Sally.
It's not even anything
Gosh,
crazy, but
this
that's
whole
just, like,
team.
awesome. Yeah.
Everybody has a cool name.
Yeah. Anyway, so this is how it all started. So this was 1919. Again, they had won the World Series in 1917. And do you know who won the World Series in 1918 in that gap year?
Who were they playing in the World Series in 1919 again?
Well, I'll just give you a hint. It's another Sox team.
So it was the Red Sox.
It was the Red
Okay.
Sox. So the Red Sox won in 1918. And then, do you want to know the next time they won the World Series?
Oh, man.
The Boston Red Sox.
That would have been when they finally broke the curse, right?
Right.
Was that 2009?
2004.
2004.
Right.
Really flexing my baseball knowledge here. Yeah.
Well, it was a long time ago. I mean, this is over 100 years ago that we're talking about. So the Red Sox won in 2004. The next time that the Chicago White Sox would win a World Series was 2005. So both of the Red Sox and the White Sox, they
Exactly the
went,
same
yes,
weight.
yes, almost identical.
That's really interesting.
I mean, it was flip-flopped. Like the Red Sox won the year before, and then the White Sox won the next year, 2004 to 2005. So it was flipped, but yeah, both like 80 years.
But wait, you said Red Sox won in 1918. White Sox. Oh no, the White Sox lost
in
1919
1919.
because
They
blew
won
the
in
whole
1917.
World Series. That's
Exactly.
why. Okay.
Yep.
Blew the World Series.
So there's basically an identical length of curse, and both of these are like the most well-known curses, Curse of Bambino and then the Black Sox curse. So yeah, so the White Sox went and just have been bad. I mean,
It's
that have been really
atrocious.
bad for 80 years.
Now they have the record for the worst record in a single season of baseball.
Right.
I mean, they had the World Series, and you know why I think they won that World Series too?
Why is that?
Because Pope Bob was at the
Pope
World
Bob.
Series.
That's right.
Pope
that's right.
Robert.
Yeah.
USA,
And
baby.
yeah, they actually swept the Astros in that one. So
Praise.
4-0. Yeah.
Praise.
Go
I feel like we're
crazy.
throwing a lot of hate at the Astros, and I just want to preface this by saying it is all deserved. The Astros suck. We hate them. Just kidding. If you're a fan of the Astros, you're probably
Please listen.
You're probably a great person. We just dislike your team. We're just salty right now.
Yep.
Give us a break. Okay. I think I found a nickname for you too.
Oh.
Just circle back on that. So
Okay.
I was looking up the history of some nicknames, and I found one as a very common era-accurate nickname. Common back then for players that had very light hair, since you have very light hair.
Oh boy.
thought this
I already
worked.
know what's coming.
So, Joel, I think that you would be great to go as Whitey Thompson. What do you think?
Oh, just Whitey.
Whitey.
I was expecting Towhead.
Towhead.
Yeah.
I like that better.
No.
It's got alliteration.
I think I like Whitey
Towhead?
better. It's
Where do
got
you-
alliteration. That makes it better.
Towhead Thompson.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Where does Towhead come from? I'd never heard that before, but now you just threw yourself under the bus
No.
with that one.
Towhead, I believe, is just a term for a blonde-headed. Yeah, it's a term for a person, especially a child, with very light blonde hair.
All I think about when I think of Towhead are the thumb guys from
Dude, yes,
Spy
from
Kids.
Spy Kids. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's so funny because the first time someone called me a towhead, that's what
Is that
I
what
was
you
thinking.
thought of?
But it's actually spelled like a tow truck, not like a tow.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
and I know that because I just
Mm.
typed in towhead, and it was like, "Do you mean towhead?"
Interesting.
Yeah. So, anyways,
The other option was another alliteration one. Character driven for steady and reliable, maybe a little slow, but always gets the job done. Tugboat Thompson.
okay.
I think
A-
Tugboat
more
Thompson sounds a lot
alliteration.
better.
Tugboat
I think the
Thompson.
alliteration works.
I don't like the slow aspect, but that's okay.
Oh, what's wrong with that?
I don't know. You get the job done. Whatever works.
There's also Brick. You could be Brick Thompson.
Yeah. Maybe towhead. I like the towhead. You know, it sounds like mean, but it's really not. So we'll take it. Anyways, let's just hope that the Mariners don't go 80 years without winning a World Series like the White Sox. So yeah, some interesting little curses thrown out there. What?
Some interesting ones. Sorry, I was just thinking, what about no ACL Thompson?
I still got one.
You still have one.
Yeah,
So maybe one
one ACL.
one knee Thompson.
Yeah, like the only ACL, like the
Kneecap.
only Nolan.
The only ACL.
The only ACL.
The only ACL.
I mean, that sucks. Let's just say it sucks if your team is cursed. We know what that feels like. If you've won a championship in the last 30 years, congratulations. You're not cursed.
It's become so much easier to watch the Seahawks since they won a Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah. You are refreshed for the next 20, 30
I just
years.
don't feel anxious when I watch them. I'm like, we win
No.
or lose. I'm like, okay, that's cool.
We have
This
a
is what it
Super
is.
Bowl.
Yeah, you enjoy the wins. You go, well, with the losses.
Right.
The Mariners, it's like excruciating at
Right.
times.
Because you just need to break
You
it.
need to just break through.
We didn't even talk about the Etsy witch,
Oh, we didn't.
but that's a whole
The
nother
good
thing.
curse.
That was
did
a
you,
good curse.
Did you see they gave her a jersey?
Really?
They
No.
found the Etsy, which they gave her a jersey. Here's another reason that people think the Mariners are cursed, is because every single home game, the Mariners do a salmon run.
Oh,
They have
yeah,
their
yeah.
mascots run, and they have their four main ones. I forget what they're called. It's
It's like
all
king salmon and there's an Alaskan one.
there's an
yeah.
Alaskan one. There's the sockeye salmon. But then there's the humpback salmon, so they call him Humpy. And the big running joke is that Humpy never wins the race. Humpy's never won. They finally had Humpy win a race, which is immediately after Humpy won the race was when the Mariners won the 15-inning marathon game against the Tigers that sent them to the ALCS. And then they had Humpy win again. And that was when
No.
our streak started to go down. So people think because they gave Humpy a little bit too much of an edge,
We're cursed.
he cursed us.
Humpy.
So now the Mariners fans are very upset, and they're all hating on Humpy. Poor
Oh.
guy, poor fish, never asked for this. But it could be the reason. Could be the reason the Mariners are cursed now. So, Anyway,
That's wild.
we'll jump into this. Joel, that was very, very good. I think since I won Family Feud now, it's up to 3-2.
Yep.
Total score.
Carsten's up 3-2 at the yard sale.
And good news for us, too, as far as our locks of the week. We both went 1-0.
Is that the best way to say that?
We both went 1-0.
1-0. Okay.
We both got our bet, so we're 1-0 on the season now for our bets.
We're
Each.
individually 1-0.
Individually.
Together, we both won our bets. We're 2-0 as a podcast.
2-0 as a podcast.
Yeah.
So combined score 2-0. Individually, we're 1-0. Last week, my bet, Rockets plus 6.5 hit. They took the Thunder to double overtime. And Cooper Flag under 1.5 3-point attempts. Cooper
Makes.
makes.
Yeah, it was makes.
Oh,
and
even
he only
better.
attempted one.
He only attempted one.
Yeah, so that's impossible to make two if you only shoot one.
That is what they say.
Yes.
That's what I've heard.
Yes. So both hit, both locks.
Joel, would you like
Easy
to
dubs.
reveal your
Yeah.
lock of the week?
I got you. So we're going with Monday Night Football this week. So that's the Chiefs and the Commanders. The Commanders' quarterback this week is Marcus Mariota. So they don't have their dude out there. So I think the Chiefs are going to score between 21 to 30 points, which is at plus 165. If they finish anywhere in that range, this bet will hit. So that is my lock. I don't think they're going to have to score any more than that. I don't think they're going to score any less than that.
I like it. I like it.
What do you got?
I agree with that. I think that's a great pick. My pick is going to be Marcus Mariota over 40 rush yards.
Oh.
It's a little bit higher than just plus 100-ish odds. It's about plus 200.
Okay.
I just think the game plan going into this is going to be, if you can lock down the receivers, you can defend the run. Cross-key Merritt hasn't looked great. I think Marcus Mariota is going to have to kind of fend for himself a bit out there. He's going to have to be creative, and I think he's looked really well running the ball, too, in the games that he has played. I think he's going to – all he's got to do is break out for one big run and then have another couple little ones, and I think he can break that 40. So it's a little bit of a stretch.
A little bit.
A little bit.
He's played in 3 games this year,
Mm-hmm.
and his rushing yards were 34,
Mm-hmm.
20, and 40.
This is the week.
This is the week.
This is the
Yep,
week.
Yep.
This is the
Okay.
week. I just think the more confident, too, that he gets in the offense, the more he's going to be able to move with the ball. Again, this could just come back to bite me. I could
Yes.
just be riding the confidence of my pick for the Rockets.
Right.
I do think, though, I've just got a feeling Marcus Mariota is gonna run the crap out of the ball
Okay.
this Monday night game. So
Okay. I like it. We'll see if it hits.
let us know your favorite curse.
Yeah. If there's something we didn't talk about, let us know.
Joel, do you have a favorite curse word?
Probably like freak.
No.
What about you? Towhead. This is, non-explicit pod. Unless Carson gets really mad.
Don't make me angry.
No.
Joel's going to say freak
We'll shut down the
again.
yard sale.
All right.
Thanks for listening to episode 3.
Thanks for listening. We'll be back next week with some more
Episode
content for you. Episode 4.
Yeah, it'll be episode 4.
Episode 4.
We're not skipping.
Episode 5. We could.
We
Just skip
could.
right
That'd
to
be
episode 5.
wild.
Nobody's ever done this before.
Yeah.
Curse number. If we have a
Surprise
curse
them.
number,
4.
we would just skip that.
See you guys next episode.
See you next week.
All right.
Packing it up. See you at the next yard sale.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.